Everyone wants to take their business, their skills, to the next level. Small and mid-sized business owners have exceptional insight into how to do this. They endure and thrive because they find ways to overcome the challenges that come their way, and they can teach us valuable lessons to apply to our own companies and lives. Stephen Nooner, founder and owner of Alkali, a company with a unique process that helps businesses more effectively buy and manage their insurance programs. And Bob Gibbons, builder of Riata Commercial Realty, a real estate advisor and tenant advocate, are two prominent Metroplex businessmen who, along with their weekly guests, will ask their and your probing questions, finding impactful solutions that will help you reach for the next level. Here are your hosts, Stephen Nooner and Bob Gibbons.
Welcome to The Next Level, Conversations that Propel Business. I'm your host, Stephen Nooner.
And this is Bob Gibbons, and we're here with another great guest. And we're excited to have CJ Comu with us. He's a 25-year veteran. I think after 25, you stop counting, right?
I hope so.
I do. He's the chairman and CEO of a bunch of companies, Eurocap Investments, Regis Advisors. But mostly today, we're here to talk about EarthWater PLC. EarthWater is well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him do that. We'll get to exactly what is EarthWater in a minute, but they are based in Dallas-Fort Worth. They have about a dozen employees. They've been around for about 3 years, and they are now distributed to about 30 countries in the world. That's pretty exciting. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
We like to start off the show with the wisdom of others, and you provided a quote today by Ted Turner. Lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way.
Those are Ted's words, of course. Not my words. I like to quote him, though.
I like that quote because I've heard a similar quote, but not the Ted version of the quote.
Right.
I imagine
he might have borrowed it from somebody.
I imagine that was a cleaned up version of Ted Turner's quote,
too. It could be, right.
Why do you like that quote?
Well, I think one of the faults in business is we get caught up in just not making decisions. Procrastination, people refer to it. And sure. I like the concept of, listen, either lead, follow, or just get out of the way. And I find that it's helpful to make decisions and move down the road. A lot of people get caught up into being nervous about making a decision or signing off on something. You have to make a decision, or you have to kind of follow the path that's provided for you. And it's just that predicament. People just get lost or sometimes frozen and just not being able to decide what to do. And I find that it's simple, clear, make the decision, follow the leadership, or just get out of the way.
So what do you do when you're in those situations, or have you evolved beyond having nervous decisions?
I think you just have to kind of think through and hopefully use a little bit of gut instinct, and of course also combine that with what business interests you're involved in, and try to make the best decision. But you have to arrive at a conclusion relatively quickly. Time is not your friend in most any business, and you have to get to a point where you say, listen, let's make a decision, let's make a commitment. We've reviewed all the options, we've reviewed all the data, but we've got to make a decision. We've got to decide, and we have to have the team behind us because we have a mission to accomplish. Whether you call it a military-style tactic, which business and I think military have a lot of parallels in common, I find that's something you've got to come to conclusions and you've got to proceed relatively quickly.
I thought it was really interesting in some of the pre-information we got from you. You said that you were the first Canadian software developer for Apple Computer.
Yeah.
Is that for like apps for the iPhone, or is that something else? Don't even say it.
Apple.
Yeah, it's amazing. I kind of had to think about that because there's some things that I don't really think back upon. But 1978 was a long time ago, and I was a young guy that had never heard of the difference between software and hardware. And I met a guy that was what they call a software geek right now, and he had wrote some code, and it basically taught you when to buy and sell stocks. Huh. And I was a aspiring stockbroker at that time, and I said, does it work? He goes, of course it does. And I said, show me. So he showed me this Apple II computer with the big 5-inch discs and the big drives. You had to put them into the doors and close them. And at that time, I said, if it works, I said, I'd love to be your partner and join you. Let's go build this thing. So we were one of the first companies, I don't know how many were out there, but financial application software companies for Apple Computer. And I had a chance to meet Jobs in Wozniak and went to Cupertino and Mountain View. And It was
Wow.
kind of surreal because back
bet.
then when I met Jobs, and I'll never forget this, there's not many things I remember, but he said his goal was to put a personal computer in every home in America. I thought, this guy's lost his mind. So, yeah, that was an amazing evolution. Again, I was just very fortunate. I was in the right place at the right time. I made a lot of money at a very, very young age, which sometimes isn't good because you sometimes spend it as fast as you make it if you don't really know where you're going. But that's part of the I guess, the experience you learn in life, and you hope not to repeat the mistakes and hope you learn off the ones that are the smart ones.
Another thing that fascinated me in your pre-work is you said that what led you to become an entrepreneur was Entrepreneur Magazine.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I picked up Entrepreneur Magazine, God knows where, and I just started reading it. And I'm reading these stories of people that are just, making money, achieving success, building things. And that's the part that I was more fascinated about, was not making money, but was building something.
Me too.
And candidly, I just took the position, well, my God, if these men and women can do it, why can't I? And there was some... I was very young back then, but there were some people obviously all older than me, but I was just fascinated with the word entrepreneur, which I couldn't pronounce, but I figured it out. And I thought, this is amazing. You find capital, you write a plan, you put a team together, and you execute. I said, this sounds pretty simple to me. Of course, simpler than what it was, but it at least got me started on a path of, I want to run my own business. I want to be my own entrepreneur. I want to be my own CEO.
And what was the first thing you did?
It was a software company.
So that was the Apple
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, it was,
Okay.
yeah, it was, the company was called MBA Management because my partner just got his MBA, and he was much older than me. And I said, what are we going to call this company? He goes,
creative
"Let's call it
thinking."
MBA. So it sounds good to me, and off we went. So we actually ended up having 5 companies with MBA Equities, MBA Technology, and so on. And, we had 120 employees on our team. We had 7 offices in the U.S., it was amazing. It was, it was a lot of capital for software industry back then, and I was just, at the beginning of an amazing curve that I never imagined would be as big as it became. But it was just wonderful to be there at the initial stages.
So how do you get from software to water?
Long and winding road, just
Yeah.
kind of like the song. A lot of stops in between, a lot of other ventures, a lot of opportunities. But I think I've always been an opportunity seeker. I mean, I was familiar or was introduced to reverse osmosis in the water purification industry many, many years ago, when it was a system that would just drip one drip at a time. Now you have systems that just free flow. So I was fascinated with that. And again, I think as the world evolved and as we kind of started to see what we've done to the earth, the atmosphere, the quality of the air we breathe has gotten contaminated, the waterworks, the fisheries, and then, of course, the soil. I mean, we've destroyed most of our soil. So EarthWater was an evolution of the ecology of what's happened to planet Earth and what we have done to it. And there's no more nutrients left in our food products. I mean, people can't breathe in many parts of the world that we're familiar with. And our fisheries from the pollutions, from contamination. So it became a bit of a mission statement for me to say, I think I've stumbled onto something that can help truly change and improve people's lives. So EarthWater became a health and wellness company as we've grown to be from our original brand of our first product.
So this was something an idea that you came up with, and how did you know what to do? How did you know how to formulate the thing?
Brilliant question, because I am not a beverage expert. I'm a marketing guy. So here's a short story.
You're not a chemist?
Yeah, I'm not a chemist, but we have some fabulous PhDs behind our company. So I'm in London minding my own business, having lunch with a good friend of mine, and he said, I'm going to have somebody join us. And we were in the Mayfair district, which is the financial district of London. So the gentleman sends a text. I'm running about 15 minutes late. He shows up there in his mid-80s. I stand up to shake his hand. He crushes my hand like Schwarzenegger. I haven't had one of those handshakes in 25 years. I'm talking crush my hand. He apologized. He walked from Paddington Station to Mayfair. I go, my God, that's like an hour. He goes, yeah, it's an hour and 50 minutes. I'm like, okay, we sit down. Can't remember what I had for lunch, but I remember what Bryson had for lunch. He ordered a steak for lunch. So I've got this 86-year-old guy walked an hour and 15 minutes, crushed my hand, and ordered a steak for lunch. And Roger says to Bryson, I wish I had a camera following. He said, Bryson, you look amazing. What have you been doing? Of course, I dropped my fork. I'm leaning forward. He said, I found this black liquid concentrate at this small store called Harvey Nichols, and it has fulvic and humic in it. And I've been putting it in my tea, sprinkling on my salad. I sleep less. I have more vitality, the whites of my eyes. I mean, like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said fulvic and humic. I thought I was a pretty smart guy and stayed in nutrition, supplements. I had never heard such a thing. So that's what started this evolution of this chance lunch meeting with this 86-year-old guy that his life had changed by drinking this liquid concentrate. And I hate to use the pun, dug into this thing. And the more I dug, the more I found out about the source. And lo and behold, we created a company called EarthWater to pursue creating products using this secret sauce special recipe called fulvic and humic.
So fulvic and humic. That doesn't sound very appetizing.
It doesn't. It actually represents a mineral deposit deep beneath the planet Earth, which is the richest minerals that used to be in our food products. Short example, 30 years ago, one bag of spinach gave you all the nutrients your body needed. Today, get a shopping cart ready. 48 bags of spinach is what you have to consume just to get the same amount of micronutrients that your body needs.
Because they're just not in the soil anymore?
It's not in the soil. It's not in our food groups. I mean, a tomato used to have 60 minerals. Now it has 6. So many of these things, an apple a day used to keep the doctor away. Now it's 9 apples a day keeps the doctor away. So the reason why people, when they go to their local pharmacy, they have vitamins on one side, supplements on the other. Everybody knows vitamin D, vitamin E, B12. But they look on the other side and they see zinc, magnesium, iron. They don't know what that is. You have to have the minerals to create the supplements. So it's part of an education and evolution where people are spending hundreds a month on supplements because they can't get that in their normal daily diets.
So if I drink EarthWater, I don't have to take any supplements?
I would say you don't have to, but I would say it dramatically increases by putting the micronutrients in your body to do 2 things: fight off bacteria and disease and to detox the body. And a stronger, healthier body performs better. You'll be more productive at work, less chances of absenteeism and productivity, and it's all about staying good health.
Wow, so Stephen can get even more healthier? He's already nauseatingly healthy.
It's pretty. It looks like you do a couple of 100 push-ups every day, I think.
Well, I got to say, the water, you were very generous and kind. We have some here on the set as well.
Sure.
You sent us some water, and it was black.
Well,
okay.
I'm the guy that turned the water black. Don't hate me.
I got to tell you, we drank it in my staff meeting on Monday morning, and there's just me and 2 ladies, and they weren't real excited about drinking the black water. And in fact, they wouldn't drink it until I did first.
So I did the opposite. I refrigerated the office, had a couple of people try it, said, "Don't touch that one, it's mine." It was delicious. So
well, the formulation is key. Yes, the water is black, and it contains the trace minerals from planet Earth, and it has a natural 9.5 to 10.5 pH, which is a whole separate subject matter alone.
Yes.
But we spent a lot of time in the formulation, and these are with PhDs and laboratories, to create a product that basically was odorless and it tasted like water. And
now,
that's part of the key.
I got to give you credit. I'm looking at the ingredients on the main water, Fulham water, and it's fulvic humic concentrate and filtered municipal drinking water, Dallas, Texas. I love that you just laid it right out there.
Well, I'm glad you noticed that. First of all, labeling and disclosures is completely voluntary. People think water comes from some stork or from the gods. Evian comes from these beautiful white Alps. Water comes from a pipe. Okay. Yes. Every water manufacturer, it all comes from a pipe. It comes to a bottling facility, and then it's what you do to it. So we disclose the fact that, yes, we're using Dallas municipal water. It isn't the water that makes our product different. It's what we put in the purified water. That goes through a multi-million-dollar filtration process for the chlorine and the fluoride and the impurities. But the key, what we have, is the liquid concentrate we infuse into the natural purified water that makes our product as unique as it is.
What does becoming a global partner with Amazon mean for a business like CJ's, and what can we learn from it? Stick around.
And now, Confessions of a Recovering Landlord.
This is Bob Gibbons with Riata Commercial Realty, and I am your recovering landlord. After 20 years as a landlord, I now use that experience only for the benefit of companies that lease or buy office buildings and warehouses. Today's confession: knowledge is power. We all negotiate from a position of power and strength, or at least we want to. In any negotiation, the party with the most knowledge probably has the upper hand. And landlords count on this being the case whenever you're negotiating a lease, because most landlords are professional real estate investors and they hire professional leasing agents and property managers. Landlords are in the market every day negotiating leases, while tenants probably only negotiate 1, maybe 2 leases every few years. So tenants feel outgunned. Don't let landlords have all the power. As a former landlord for 20 years, I understand how landlords think and what motivates them. So let me put that knowledge and experience to work on your side of the negotiation. To learn more, contact me at texastenantrep.com. Again, that's texastenantrep.com.
Have you started making plans to take your business to the next level in 2016?
Hi, I'm Stephen Nooner, founder and CEO of Alkali. We have a trademark process called the Empowered Advantage that enables CEOs, business owners, and entrepreneurs to more effectively buy and manage their insurance. Before sitting down to make your plans for the new year, here are just a few things to consider. Would you say that you have an actual insurance strategy, one that you can articulate, or have you just purchased a policy here and there over the years? If you have an insurance strategy, was it discussed under the pressure of a renewal deadline or considered earlier in the year to avoid fire drill decision making? If your answer was no to either of these questions, then you may not have the right partner on your team. Visit alkaliservices.com to contact us and take the next step to a bigger and better future.
Hi, my name is Michael Pedicolis. I operate the Pedicolis Brewing Company here in the Dallas Design District. We are honest, friendly, down-to-earth brewers who deliver world-class, passion in a glass, and I'm ready to find a radio show that does for radio what we've done with beer.
Welcome back to The Next Level, conversations that propel business. We're here with CJ Comu. He's the founder of EarthWater, and you can learn more at earthwater.com. I failed to mention that at the intro, and I'm shocked, Stephen, that you did not razz me unmercifully.
Trying to give you grace.
Grace?
Yeah, lots of grace today.
Well, turning over a new leaf, are you?
So, CJ, I alluded to right for the break. Congrats. You're recently a partner with Amazon.
Yes.
How, for someone in a totally different industry, I'm curious about how that happens, how one decides to do it, and what's the impact on a business like yours.
Well, first of all, we're in the beverage industry, so most people think about beverage products being sold in conventional retail.
Yeah.
And, of course, those are the aisles you walk down that are littered with colors and messaging and pricing and a lot of chaos. So unless the consumer knows exactly what they're looking for, it's a very tough place to launch a product or try to brand a product. Amazon has several different tentacles and divisions. There's the Amazon General Marketplace, there's Amazon Business, and there's a category started about 3 years ago called Amazon Exclusives. Amazon Exclusives looks for strategic relationships with manufacturing partners like EarthWater, where it's by invitation only, and they invite you into their platform, and they say, if we like what we do, we'll get behind you. Now, when Amazon gets behind you, it's like getting a 10,000-pound gorilla behind you. You can kind of go almost anywhere you want to go. That's the good news, and there's also the bad news is Amazon has a voracious appetite for growth, and their distribution network is so massive, they let you out slowly. And the best example I tell people is kind of like when you're drinking out of a garden hose in your backyard in the summertime. You kind of kink the hose because you can just drink enough.
Yeah.
Or do you want to drink out of a fire hydrant? It'll take your whole head off. Well, Amazon's philosophy is we got 700 million people.
Sure.
We're not going to turn the dial to 10. We're going to let you out a little slowly. We're going to see how the sales grow, etc. So the beautiful thing for us versus conventional retail is, A, we get to determine our retail selling price. In the world of retail, you can't determine that. No. You sell wholesale and then you pray that you don't get your knees and your legs chopped off. 2, customer acquisition metrics. When you walk into a store and you buy one bottle of our product, we certainly appreciate that. We have no idea who you are. I don't know if you're male, if you're female. I don't know what your zip code is. I don't know if you live in a home, an apartment. We don't know anything about your demographics. With Amazon, when you buy from us, not only do we have your name, we have your address, we have your credit card, not us but Amazon. We have your contact information, and now we can do customer data metrics back to you if we have a promotion, an incentive campaign, and that's what it's all about. So Amazon not only gives us a chance to directly sell product by case instead of by bottle, but also interact with our clients and do promotions and gather and create more incentives.
All right, so there's a million questions that I could ask just based on what you just said, but let me start with, did you try retail first?
Oh, yes.
And the follow-up to that is, how did Amazon know you existed?
Well, the retail is called the bare knuckle street fight, and it starts off at trade shows, and it starts off by standing in line, making an appointment, and trying to get into a retail channel. I'll give you an example. I mean, there are chains that are 100-unit chains, and then there's the big ones that you've recently heard about where Amazon acquired Whole Foods that are 900-unit chains. To get in line to make a presentation to a buyer could take between 6 months to a year to even get yourself approved, and they'll start you off at 10 stores and 50 to 100. We got the invitation to Amazon. I can't tell you how we got the invitation, but it was from a very prominent individual that's well-known on national television, etc. Okay. So we got the invitation to present to Amazon, and we obviously did like we normally do, is shipped a case of product, all of our collateral material. They read it, they reviewed it, they loved it, because we are an industry disruptor. People say they want to be disruptor. The water industry has never had a black water. You can't get more destructive than black water. So, but then they asked about the story behind the product. You know, all these trace minerals from planet Earth, a high pH, detox, change and improve your body. They love the product. When they become an advocate of your product, now you get yourself a real partnership. So Amazon has been spectacular. They took us from U.S. to Canada. This year they took us to the EU, which is 27 countries. And next month we're going into Japan. So, I mean, they are just an unbelievable machine. And we're just kind of hanging on to Superman's cape right now.
So what kind of crunch does that put on a business? I mean, obviously there's a lot of cash involved in that.
Be careful what you wish for. I think is the exact answer. I mean, as I said earlier on, Amazon being so huge that they are. So the challenge for small companies like ours that are growing is the front part is the manufacturing process. That's no problem. The back end is the distribution. That's no problem. And the middle is called producing product and marketing. So we have to obviously have deeper capital lines and access to deeper financing to be able to produce product and also support the Amazon platform. And there's a lot of things we do to support our product. But yes, one of the challenges is you got to get the product in Germany, in France, in Spain, in Luxembourg, in Denmark, all these countries we're in. It has to be in Amazon's distribution hub in Canada, in the 18 locations in the U.S., before you can see it on their website. Our product has to be physically in their warehouses, ready for immediate sale.
So there's some serious lag time there. So you have to have all that capital sitting there waiting until you suddenly get a return at some point in the future.
But the good news with Amazon is they pay every 14 days.
What?
Conventional retail could take 60, sometimes 75 days. And in worst case, up to 90 days. Every 14 days, Amazon wires to our account. So we produce a product. It's in their distribution hubs almost within 3 days, and it's live. So the beauty of Amazon, as I was talking about earlier on, to get a new SKU introduced, it would take us a year to introduce a new SKU to a chain with just a little sneak preview. They never give you the whole chain. Amazon, I can be in 27 countries literally in a matter of days.
Can I have it delivered to my house by a drone yet?
You know, they're doing that. They do have same-day delivery, which is pretty amazing.
Which I have had.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a 17-pound box, obviously, which is our main product line. We have different SKUs and different size packaging, but it's there the next day, sometimes the same day, and for us, that's outstanding.
You have developed some other products as well, not beyond the black water.
Right.
So
Yeah, so under EarthWater, we have two brands. One's called Fulham, which of course is our black water, and then the other one we have is called Zenful. And we created Zenful because people wanted the trace minerals, but some people had a psychological block drinking a black water. We said, do you drink coffee? Do you drink a soft drink? So for those people, we created 4 natural flavors under the Zenful category, and that's what Zenful is. We also have travel sachets, which are awesome. We have the pop tops, which you can put on the throat of any regular bottle of water. Let's say you have a brand and you think that's the best water in the world. We said that's fine. Take the pop top, remove the cap, put ours on there, hit it, and watch the black liquid concentrate drop into it.
Oh, wait a minute. So,
yeah.
So it's like a little travel size.
Exactly. We have the travel sachet, which you can tear off and pour into a glass of water at lunch, or you can take the pop top and put it on the throat of any normal bottle of water.
Huh.
We have the 1-liter glass bottles. We have the gummies, which don't need water, just chew them. And we also have 3 brand new SKUs coming out, and exclusive for your show. So under the EarthWater brand, we're releasing Earth Patch, Earth Pets, and Earth Body. So the patch, of course, is all about the delivery mechanism, putting fulvic and humic into your body. You tear the patch off, put it on your arm. The fulvic and humic goes into your body for up to 2 days. Earth Pets, billion-dollar industry for canines and felines. People are very, very concerned. The biggest problem is bacterial infection for cats and dogs. This is a dramatic method of helping reduce that. And Earth Body, again, first time a fulvic and humic infused facial cream to detox and provide a natural skin for the human body. It's just going to be a phenomenal product.
Congratulations. That's a lot going on in a short amount of time. So I've got to ask then, you're riding this whole fulvic humic thing. So is there scientific testing that's been done to prove out the claims that you're saying about the detoxing, et cetera?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, we make no claims, and so we stay away from that slippery slope. Okay. But to answer your question, the answer goes back millions of years of studies. The internet is just loaded with it. Some of the information we post on our website, but you can Google fulvic and humic. There are white papers, there's scientific studies on reduction of Alzheimer's and reduction of HIV. These are all scientific white papers, which we point to. We don't say our product does, but obviously if the source of the product is fulvic and humic, and it comes from a ready-to-drink or a chew or a patch or whatever, that should dramatically help improve the body. It's a real simple formula. Trace minerals do not exist in our normal daily diet. They don't exist in our food groups. They don't exist in our beverages. So if you can put the trace minerals into your body, you're only going to get one thing. It's going to help improve your sustainability and improve your ability to fight off bacteria and disease. That's all we're advocating.
I see. So it's kind of like the supplements industry.
Very much so. And
Okay.
listen, you could take zinc, you can take iron, I could take calcium. We're all going to have a different reaction because all of our DNAs are different. For a 5-year-old kid, a teenager, an adult, or even a senior citizen, it's all going to affect us differently, but it's all going to improve where we are as functioning bodies versus affecting us in any negative way.
What's the biggest challenge of getting people to be open to something new for a product like yours?
Yeah, listen, branding and marketing exposure, it's always a challenge for no matter what the brand is. It could be in any category. But I think when you're, again, a disruptive like we are, and we may have a good brand marquee name like EarthWater, but it's introducing people and letting them try Fulham and the Zenful brands. We also have something else we haven't touched upon much, but we have a 5-gallon water cooler that's black. So the old water cooler from the 50s that you still see in offices right now, we have one, except it's black water. And 2 of our groups that we support are the fire and the police department, and we provide that in our city of Addison, complimentary by us. But law enforcement love it. In fact, we're doing a whole campaign, Black the Blue. Kind of a takeoff of Back the Blue, but this is Black the Blue, and they just love it because they've actually had the soft drink machines removed from police and fire because it's not helping them at all. So again, our gift back to the city that we are located in, fire and police love the product, and we talk about it on our social media, etc.
So beyond Amazon, how else do you guys distribute your product?
We have foreign licensed distribution partners, and so we will offer on a contract basis the entire country. Right now we have France is sold, Spain, Italy, China, Brazil, the United Kingdom. So we have a licensed partner that has signed a contract, and they are the exclusive. Best example is, for example, Red Bull. One company has the rights to bring that product in there for redistribution. So we have partners that have signed an agreement. So other parts of the world that we're not in, these are bricks and mortar relationship with schools, military, sports and fitness centers, spas, hotels, country clubs. Not retail stores, but selling directly to businesses. Our B2B business, that's what our foreign licensed partners do. And we have a huge relationship in the Gulf right now, in the Middle East, based out of Dubai, with a massive group that we're about to sign off, and that will be huge news that we'll be issuing probably next month.
Is that the same thing as a channel partner, or is that something different?
Yeah, we call it, the actual name of the agreement is a foreign licensed distribution partner, so they have the rights to bring it in, and in some cases they can actually produce it, which would mean we would ship them the liquid concentrate to the local markets. But strange enough, and I'll talk about China for 1 second, our Chinese partners want product made in the United States on a marine container shipped to Shanghai. They do not trust their local water from their local government. So people say, you're producing product in Dallas, Texas, putting on a marine container, shipping it to China. We go, yes, we are. So in some cases, the concentrate will not work in their local markets. It goes back to the quality of the water and the purification system.
Interesting.
So those markets are opportunities, and even Russia right now, we're talking to a major group that's very excited about being our foreign licensed distribution partner.
Well, CJ, I wish we had a lot more time to talk. I feel like we've just barely started, but thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
Listeners, please go to earthwater.com or go to Amazon and search on EarthWater. Buy some, give it a shot. Give it a try. You're going to like it.
And if you want to share the word or spread the word, you can find us nextlevelshow.com, or you can find us on Facebook and other social medias as well.
Or go to the podcast and find us at The Next Level Show. We'll be back next week with another great guest.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
You have been listening to The Next Level, Conversations That Propel Business with Stephen Nooner and Bob Gibbons. Join us every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. for more prolific conversations that will take your business to the next level.